Every actor's first answer, I think everyone I've spoken to when they read an Edward play they were going to do is like, how am I going to get through this?
How am I going to do this? Yeah, how am I going to do this? What is really the dramatic tension in this piece? What's underneath the surface? Because it's not floating on the surface. It's underneath somewhere, and you have to dig for it. You have to work for it. And so I've been working for it, and we'll see what happens. It's a complex piece. Anne Bancroft was doing it when Bill Pullman and I were doing The Goat 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago on Broadway. And she became sick, and it never opened. And now as I look at it, I think, honey, I understand. This was a hard piece of work, you know. How did you engage the audience so that the audience couldn't think about anything but what was going on right on the stage? Couldn't think about what they needed to do tomorrow morning, what the problems were at work, anything. Because it's different from a lot of his plays. It doesn't have the same kind of dramatic tension. It's different. But I'm looking forward to working on it, and I'm looking forward to working on it with Pam. And I had a lovely, wonderful, long meeting with Arnie Glimcher, who you probably know. He's a famous gallerist and also a producer and now a writer. And he was a very, very close friend of Louise Nevelson's. As a matter of fact, he was almost a surrogate son to her. And we talked for about 2 hours about a week ago. And I started to fall in love with this person, Louise Nevelson, through his eyes. So I'm so looking forward to it.
You know, you've done Edward's, of course, you know, The Goat. Brilliant. Does it make it any easier when you've done an Edward Albee play before, when you do another one? Does it make it easier, the rhythms or anything? I know you said the rhythms are different in this one, but is there...
That's a good question. Yes. The way Samuel Beckett has rhythms, the way Pinter has rhythms, the way Mamet has rhythms, Edward has rhythms. They're the rhythms of a very unique way of thinking, a take on the world, a way of encountering the world. He encounters the world with a certain kind of rhythmic pattern of consciousness. And so Mamet does too, and Beckett does too, and what you want to do with these rhythms, though, is never let the style show. And you don't want the style in Edward to show any more than you want the style in Pinter or Mamet to show. You want it to become invisible, honored but invisible. You know what I'm saying? So that's a real challenge. But how exciting, how blessed I am to have that challenge.